Hi, everybody. My name's Brandon Gannett. I'm the executive director with Baseball Nova Scotia, and I'm here today to talk to you about our club licensing policy. So, the club licensing policy is a relatively new policy within Baseball Nova Scotia. It came into effect at the beginning of 2025. So, what is the club licensing policy? It's designed to guide member associations toward the best principles for organizational development. It also provides recognition to community associations as a member club in good standing. Member clubs have a designated catchment area which prevents other groups from attempting to form within that area. You can find catchment area information along with a list of clubs in good standing on the BNS website under Club Information. So as you can see on the screen right now, I do have the club licensing policy, but I'll go over to our club information page that is available on our BNS website. Again, it is under Contact, Club Information, and all of the clubs that you see here are the recognized clubs by Baseball Nova Scotia, along with their recognized catchment area. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So here's some of the benefits of the club licensing policy and some of the reasons that we actually have it in place. So it allows Baseball Nova Scotia to understand what you're offering and we can promote that as well. So giving a Baseball Nova Scotia an understanding of what you plan on offering for the upcoming year, whether it be certain levels at, 11U, 13U, 15U, so on, girls programs, Challenger baseball, Rally Cap, or any other programs, it allows us to really know what's happening in that area and maybe be able to support those things. You can request specific supports from BNS through the registration process. And also, we can address specific concerns. If there's things that you feel your club may need help with, could be anything from policy development, AGM support, or things that are more on field. Being able to present this to Baseball Nova Scotia, it's really important. It just allows us to make sure that those official communication linkages remain. Also, probably one of the biggest things is recognition by BNS as a member in good standing and being the official community association for that designated catchment area. Um, we'll talk about again a little bit more about that, but why that's important here in a few minutes. And there's also numerous other benefits that you can find in Section 3 of the club licensing policy. So those are some of the reasons that it exists to begin with. So as for the requirements, I'm going to show you the registration page. So here's the registration page that clubs are expected to fill out every year. Apologies. So it requests the following info. The registration shouldn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes to complete every year, and we encourage you to provide much detail as possible, as the information is valuable to BNS and our understanding of what's happening within your association. There's no fee associated with this, so it does not cost anything to register your club. Uh, I'll talk again about BNS membership here in a second, but completing this, there's no fee attached to this. So for many minor associations, they would fall under the club level association. So an organized community entity that offers multiple levels of programming by age, skill, or inclusive group. The other two members, or the other two that would be specific to most of our members, are an independent team. So that's many senior teams, a lot of the intermediate teams, some of the 22U teams, maybe even the odd team that just doesn't fall under an association. You can still register provided that you meet all the criteria that's in our policy. Also, there's the leagues. So that includes leagues such as the Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League, the Nova Scotia Intermediate Baseball League, leagues that don't really fall under the Baseball Nova Scotia Intermediate League, but still count as members and operate somewhat independently of Baseball Nova Scotia. The other member is an associate member. So it's a recognized group that does not fall within BNS membership, but collaborates with Baseball Nova Scotia to offer baseball programming in the province. So that could include the Nova Scotia School Athletic Federation, the university leagues, leagues that don't conflict with any of Baseball Nova Scotia's programs or programs that are offered within community level associations recognized Baseball Nova Scotia. They can also apply as affiliate members. So, how to register? Every January, a link is sent to clubs to register for the upcoming season. This provides clubs with the opportunity to update contact information, um, feedback on the previous season, and share priorities for the upcoming year. As I previously talked about, this information is really valuable to us in being able to reach out and support associations the best we can. Please note that this is different from membership registration. Once your club information is submitted, then our operations manager can assist you in getting set up to submit your individual members. So again, you cannot register your actual members until you go through this club registration piece. So again, that is a separate process. Many associations are now set up on our RAMP registration system, which does that automatically. But again, you need to register your club so that we know that you're operating again for the upcoming season, what you're planning on offering before we can actually allow you to submit membership for Baseball Nova Scotia and register your individual members. The deadline is March 31st each year, but you can still submit your info past that deadline. Just note that you wouldn't be considered in good standing until that information is submitted. So we do encourage clubs to meet that deadline because if we don't receive any information from you up to that date, it could leave the door open for another club to come in and say, hey, we want to be the recognized club for this area, and that could cause other problems. But we will obviously follow up and may try and make sure that those things don't happen, especially if people meet the deadline. So it really helps us avoid any of those issues if you just make sure to meet that deadline, register your club for the upcoming year. So again, this is the preview, the registration page. It shouldn't take you more than 15, 20 minutes. We're just looking for the essential information of the club, what you intend to offer in the season. We know obviously that may change before the season starts based on your registration. Um, and again, just getting some information on what you're planning on doing. We ask for your AGM information. Do you provide financials to your members? Just questions like that. If you don't, it doesn't necessarily disqualify you from being a member, but we will likely reach out to provide you some support or ask how we can help you meet those expectations. We do require that if you're registering an association, that all members within the association are registered. That has a lot of insurance and safe sport implications in that if there's people that don't show up in that registration database, if something does happen within your club, it could make you liable. It could create other issues down the road. So again, one of the requirements is that if you're registering any players or members within your associations with us, that you need to register all of them. Again, just some checklists on some of the policies that we recommend you having with your association. If you don't have them, we may be able to provide support in developing those. So one thing that we included this year as well is providing feedback on your association's experience from the 2025 season. The feedback is useful in helping highlight priorities for BNS for 2026. So it could be, you be very specific about some of the positive, negatives, and areas where you see opportunities for 2026. Again, this is your opportunity to give us some of that information. Again, kind of building on that, what are your main priorities for the upcoming year that your associations looking to develop, get more into? So some of the examples we have here are girls baseball, challenger baseball, coach education, policy development, AGM guidance. It could be anything that you think could provide value to your members within your association that BNS may be able to assist with. So if you are a new club, couple things to consider. We'll only consider new clubs if certain requirements are met. So, number one, that there's no program that exists within that geographic catchment area. So, if there's already a program within that catchment area, as defined again on our club information page, if there's already a program offered there, then BNS would not consider you to operate another program that's within that catchment area. Number two, the existing club in that area actually supports the existence of another club. So we do have examples of that where we've had some existing associations support another smaller association, maybe popping up nearby or somewhere within that area. If the existing club is okay with it and provides that approval, BNS will support it. Finally, the only other avenue for new clubs, should they not meet those criteria, would be to go through the appeals process. So that's detailed in Section 8 in the club licensing policy. So that appeals process would allow you to make your case as to why the existence of another club may be required for that area or beneficial. So again, I don't need to go through that in detail, but this is the process that clubs can go through. So BNS again can do some audits of clubs to make sure that they're at least being truthful or attempting to be truthful in their registration. Some of the penalties here are outlined in Section 7. Again, we don't anticipate this coming up very often, but we want to make sure the clubs are doing their best to be truthful about what they're offering. Um, they're operating in good faith. They're adhering to the policies of baseball in Nova Scotia, especially the safe sport requirements, so on and so forth. So again, there is an expectation of the clubs registered with Baseball Nova Scotia that they are operating um, in a manner that's professional and serves their community appropriately. So the rest of the policy outlines some of the things that I've already talked about through the registration page and our club information page. But again, we strongly encourage clubs to make sure that they're registered properly every year by the deadline. It does provide a lot of benefit. It protects you as a club from having some of those headaches that may occur when other clubs try and pop up. It gives Baseball Nova Scotia the information that we need to hopefully support you better. If you have any questions at all about the club licensing policy, concerns, or something wasn't clear in this video or within the policy itself, which can be found on our website, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can contact me at baseball@sportnovascotia.ca, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible to answer those questions. But otherwise, good luck for the upcoming season. Um, if you have any other questions that's outside of the club licensing, please reach out as well. Email is the best place to find us, or you could find us at baseballnovascotia.com. Thanks, everyone. Good luck for the upcoming season.